Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Andy back again from the underground. Today we're taking a look at the Rorman Strength Megalith handles. These handles cost me $274.99 shipped to my door. These are some of the only handles on the market to feature a 360-degree articulation. They feature a 7-inch freely rotating stainless steel handle, and they have a center knurl mark. The knurl is very aggressive, I would say. It's more along the lines of like an Ohio power bar in bare steel. I got this for my 1-inch hole rack, and the reason I got these handles was I saw a lot of people able to do side lateral raises for it, and that's kind of primarily what I wanted to use these for, as well as use these handles on my trolley arms. And later in the video I'll show you some exercises that I've been doing with the Megalith handles and how I use them. And as you can see here, everything is really nicely packaged and put together. The quality of the products feel very nice. However, on the handles portion that you're going to see in a little bit, there was a little bit of rust stains in the threading of the well, and that's probably because of moisture, because these handles are made overseas and they were trapped in a bag. But as you can see here, these handles, they feel great. They're very aggressive in terms of knurling, and how they feel in hand, you can see the impressions that it leaves, the imprints. And if these rust issues come up with your handles, make sure you guys hit up the owner of Rorman Strength, Rory Ellis. He will help you out as much as he can. He did offer me a slight refund on these. So getting into the assembly itself, as you can see that I unboxed a bolt, a pivot arm, as well as a handle. So on these handles and pieces, there are something called a bearing sleeve or washer. So it's basically a bearing washer. Rory actually refers to it as a bearing sandwich. So basically it is a washer, the bearing washer, and another washer. So basically this is how the handles rotate and they spin. So basically you want to take off these pieces of the bolt, and you want to just leave one of the bearing washer combinations. He called it bearing sandwich, so we'll call it that here. So you want to have the bearing sandwich, insert the bolt through the big hole, get another bearing sandwich, insert it here, and then you want to get your locking nut. Make sure it's tight, but not too tight, because you want this to be able to spin still. So make sure you use your Allen wrench, get this lock nut all squared away, nice and tight, but not too tight where it doesn't spin. It should be able to spin right here. I'm going to show you. And this goes on the top side of the bracket. And then you want to get your 2 plastic washers. You want to have one that will be touching the lock nut, and then one that will be where you have the other nut that is detachable and comes on and off when you insert the handle. Yep, and so there's that portion. Okay, now getting into the actual handle itself, it actually comes with a few bearing sandwiches, as you can see here. So I actually just took off the bolt itself of the screw, and what I did was I kept the bearing sandwich and the washer and the lock nut on the bolt itself, the one that actually goes in the handle, as you can see here. So I separated it out. I take a bearing sandwich out. Boom. Here you have the bolt and the other bearing sandwich that's supposed to be on it. Separate it out from there. Now I'll show you what you do. As you can see here, there is those rust spots that I was talking about earlier. You want to take the handle or the pivot arm, and you want to actually stick this bolt through the long side, and make sure you have that bearing sandwich in between for the nut. As you can see, I actually had to screw it in because the hole's a little bit tight, so I screwed it in a little bit. And then now you want to get your other bearing sandwich, put it onto the bolt, and now this is the easier part. Just want to screw back that handle on, and it should look like this. Again, you don't want it to be too tight where it doesn't rotate, but you want it to make it tight enough where probably the lock nut comes down, but not to the point where it won't rotate, because this is where a lot of the rotation happens the most, and the articulation. Because if you have it too tight, it's not going to rotate and spin. See? So it should kind of resemble like this. As you can see, this is how you should be able to swing it around and rotate it freely. Yep. I just wanted it a little bit tighter. And it also depends on you. Obviously, the tighter you have it, the more wear and tear you're going to put onto these bearings. Yeah, but here is the handle assembly. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Now here's what the Megalith handles look like on my side lateral raise machine. They look very sleek, very nice. Feels very high quality for the product that you're getting. And here I'm going to show you some side lateral raises that I do with this. I might do a more in-depth video on this side lateral raise machine that I built out over time through CFT Performance. But here I'll show you the front raise as well, just because, you know, this motion, it feels great with the Megalith handles, and this is primarily why I got it, but I know that these handles can do a lot more than just this. And you're gonna see here that I do some rotation with these handles itself. Like, they spin really well, and they're just really well put together. I'm trying to see what other exercises I could do with them, and to say the least, do I think these are worth it? If you're really into side lateral raises and handles in general, if you have a lot of DIY style of training in your gym, I think these are definitely worth it. Like, here you can see I'm putting it on my trolley arms. However, again, being $275, I believe they went up in price. It's a pretty steep price to swallow, but I think for the home gym enthusiast, it's worth it. For a regular home gym person who's just trying to get a workout in and use what they got, I would say it might not be worth it in the long run, just because you could still do these motions with other arms that you have available. Like, these trolley arms come with a standard set of arms. They're not that good compared to the Megalith handles, but they still get the job done. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. Make sure you like, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.